Some questions that people have been asking me over and over again is which movie or TV series has the most realistic arms and armor and fighting? And, to my, and probably also your astonishment, I have to say the most realistic I've seen so far is from an anime. That's right, anime, which is often trying to tell us that such shiny, nerdgasmic pieces of fetish wear offer adequate protection. You know, there's regular fantasy with certain expectations of dramatic exaggeration.
I wonder what anime
And then there
is
is, but there is an anime series with the title Maria the Virgin Witch that gives
was a good one.
This is a surprisingly realistic representation of historical arms and armor. Well, yes, there is also magic and witches and succubi and all kinds of strange things, but at the same time, it portrays the 100 Years' War between England and France.
I thought he was going to say Vinland Saga. This video actually came out 7 years ago. So.
And that kind of blew me away. You have men-at-arms and gambesons, which is basically a linen jacket which is padded, like what I'm wearing right now.
Oh.
And they have kettle helmets.
That was real armor, padded jackets.
Are basically a cheaper alternative to plate armor that go on top of the gambeson for extra protection. All the gear you see in the anime, the weapons and armor and clothing, all kinds of things, architecture, I've all seen that from historical depictions or originals in museums or reproductions and so on and so forth. And, you know, considering that it's already that detailed and that close to reality.
Oh, look, it's those
again,
things.
except the magic. But at that point, I really don't feel like nitpicking anything, even if there was something to nitpick. The weapons are all properly shaped, and they are actually using the weapons competently. This guy, for instance, and by the way, sorry for the mirror image, he's actually holding the warhammer in the right and the buckler in the left. He stops the swing of the axe before it has gained full momentum, which is exactly what you want to do.
Look at those tiny little bucklers! He counterattacks
by bashing the helmet with the warhammer.
The tiny
and this
little
guy here
shield
first
is so
breaks
small.
his opponent's wrist with the mace, and then closes in, wraps his arm around the guy's other arm.
Little hook, yeah, it's like a little
and
hubcap.
then he unleashes the buckler to the face, which again is perfectly realistic.
That's average
and
size.
skilled
What the
fighting.
fuck?
And here's a proper stance with sword and shield. The longbowmen actually draw their bows correctly, and they even do the English taunt. The meaning of that is the English archers were very dangerous on the battlefield and caused significant casualties on the French side. So the French threatened that they would cut off every man's index and middle finger if they capture them to, well, punish the archers. So basically they just went, here, come and get it. And even the infamous murder stroke makes its appearance. This guy here in the duel grabs the sword by the blade and smashes the guard and pump into his opponent's helmet.
The stroke he used to kill me!
That is a real historical technique. You can see that in the historical manuals. And in a previous video, I've also demonstrated that it does actually work without killing yourself, even without gauntlets. Well, I never thought that I would say that at some point, but there you go. The most realistic historical arms and armor and fighting that I've ever seen in a movie or series comes from an anime, Maria the Virgin Witch. And by the way, just a brief comment on the combination of realism and magic.
I would like to hear what he thinks now,
as well.
What he thinks of like Vinland Saga and other animes that have come out, other forms of media.
Very well, because the whole point is that this witch is trying to use her magical powers to end the war. And magic may seem out of place in that context.
Oh, he does?
Everything is historical and realistic and everything. But that's exactly the point, because she is also kind of out of place. The fact that she is trying to end the violence and stop the war, nobody gets why you would do that. Why would you want to? Because at the time, war was just a, kind of self-evident part of life. They were used to it. That's just how the world worked. Your liege commanded you to go out there, arm yourself, and fight to the death, and that's what you did.
Oh no, offer my liege?
Trying to stop that is kind of out of place. It's kind of unnatural.
Go out and fight.
It's a beautiful
no, I'm just
message,
kidding. Don't go out and
really.
fight.
It works very well in terms of symbolism. Magic is out of place there, and so is she. You know, this kind of thing I would actually like to see more often.
We must fight!
Fantasy that is not completely high on PCP, despite there also being mythical creatures and magic and things of that nature. That makes it more interesting, in my opinion. In any case,
I just think back then all the magic people talked about was
and by the way,
drugs.
there's also lots of sex jokes and naked skin. So if you need another reason to watch this series, there.
Titties! Yup, booba.